What if you could help others to find the power to heal themselves, physically, emotionally, and spiritually?
When I started teaching my classes, it was in 2002, and I was just doing past life regressions and contacting the subconscious part. But then as the time went on and we found how powerful this was and what we could do with it, a lot of the students began saying, you know, advanced past life regression doesn't really tell what it's all about. This is so much more than that. We think you should change the name. So it was a few years ago, we decided to change the name to Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique.
Help other people to speak to their higher selves. You can. Dolores Cannon has taught thousands of people from across the world how to use QHHT. Now you can learn her method by going directly to themoreshow.com/QHHT. And don't forget to mention the discount coupon More Talks. Have you ever wondered, can you communicate directly with spirit guides, teachers, or non-physical consciousness, or even our higher selves? What would they tell us? My name is Kevin Moore, and since 2015, I started to practice a form of communication which is termed channeling. I have been interviewing experts on my talk show to find out, does life continue after we die? And can we communicate with those that have crossed over? With each expert I spoke to, they all had different ideas. Is there knowledge from the past which could be shared with the present moment? So I thought, why not just speak to the non-physical world directly through channelers around the world? And that's what I set out to do. They Call Us Channelers will take the viewers on a journey into the phenomena known as channeling. And my main goal with this docuseries is to bring a new understanding and awareness to channeling by looking within ourselves and asking, is it truly possible that we can all use this innate ability?
So hi everybody, I'm Carol Collins, and I'm what the world calls as a channeled medium. Channeler is what I like to call myself, but the team of non-physical teachers that teach, they say there's a difference between channeled medium and a channeler. Channeled medium is, of course, someone who loves to have questions given to them and letting the non-physical teacher team speak out loud. So I love doing readings. It's one of my favorite things to do. And the teachers do readings on, I just say, any subject that's important to you. They dive in and they give you structured guidance. They walk you through A through Z, and they tell you how to do it, what to do, how long to do it, and what the roadblocks are, what the obstacles are. And if there's an energy block that's needing some kind of energy attunement. And so they give you very detailed information. I love it because I think it's helpful. It's helping people one-on-one, and I love that. So channeled medium is what the teachers are beginning to create in the world through the teachings that they're bringing forward through me, and I love it. They call it the essential material, and there's 4 pillars to it. Pillar 1 is conscious beings. They call it the foundational material. Conscious beings and why they have physical life experience, meaning why are we here? Pillar 2, law of attraction. Thoughts create your future reality. Pillar 3, self-healing and all the different ways to do it. And pillar 4, they call it unfoldment. And most people just say the awakening. So they do recognize that as well. So they're teaching people how to channel. And it's fun. And I love seeing students progress. They teach classes and they do workshops and they write an awful lot of books, very beautiful books, and they keep them in the category of pillar 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's just a little bit about me. My awakening itself happened about 4.5 years ago, spontaneous, channeled, and it's been an amazing ride ever since. I used to have an IT program management job, left that behind. And then I just followed their guidance. So when they give guidance on how to live your life and what to do, I say source-led living. They create a pathway for you to get what it is that you're wanting. And for me, I just say I basically live with them. They're my companions and they guide me. And what's the best way to put it? They tell me day by day what's coming up for me and how to move around it or how to face it head on and get the most out of it. And that's what readings with them are like. But, they have their own way of teaching. They do a lot of storytelling and they use a lot of real world examples. And they weave in pillar 1, 2, 3, and 4 to set the tone for what the subconscious mind will allow you to learn. And when it relaxes, you learn faster in all aspects, but specifically learning how to become a challenged person. It's fun.
So, Kara, when you came on before, were you talking about the same work? I mean, was pillar 1, 2, and 3, and 4 mentioned? And I should just say that we'll put your previous interview in the description below. But was that talked about? I can't remember.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it was, because the hand positions that they gave, and they gave you some personal things in document form. That's all pillar 3. So they're very interested in. And if you want me to do a shorter introduction, I can do that too. Not really knowing how much you're looking for, but the essential material is the label of the 4 categories of information that they teach about through me. And they do say that that's pretty unique, that mostly they teach pillar 2, which is law of attraction, when someone reaches a channeled or channeler level.
So previously you were channeling, I think they were called Yeshua, and sorry if I've got the name wrong. Now they're called the Teachers. Is it still the same group that you're channeling?
It is the same group. They're okay with bringing in some of the other, but they say fresh and new is better. They call themselves the Teachers of Jeshua. So they are the Yeshua Collective, the group of non-physical teachers that teach all 4 aspects of human physical life. So they're not a different group. They're the same group, but enough people have started to identify them as the teachers. Students just simply call them the teachers. So they just say, well, the world is kind of making a choice. And so it's a good choice because we are teachers. So they're the same ones. They would say, let's do a new interview.
So it's the same group, and you're going under a different name right now, which I believe, as far as I know, their advice to you was to either keep the name the same, which for the life of me, I can't remember what your previous name was, but you're now America's Medium, and that was through the teachers that advised you whether that was something that you wanted to change, and if you did, this was a new path that you could take.
Right. So the way that they're describing it to me right now is there's a reason that they want to go forward. They are, and this is just, background information for you. They've got a couple of documentaries and some other things that they're hoping to get on Gaia and on Ion Television. And there's some producers that are wanting to not be limited to a localized name. So the Pittsburgh Medium is what I was going by before. They asked me to get broader. So I would say, let's go with the rebrand, and I'm okay with that. It's the same group of teachers. It is still me. They are still teaching the same thing that we talked about last time, but they're going to make a couple more points here. They're zeroing in on unfoldment, which is pillar 4, and that they are creating mediums. They're walking people through the steps, and they are creating channeled mediums and qualified channelers that can bring more conversation through verbally. So the rebranding and all of that, that's just for you background, but would prefer not to bring that up because it'll just be confusing to people. My students all have adjusted, but I don't want to bring.
Well, I only mention that because obviously in the previous interview it's got a different name on there, and just if people wondered, that's all. But it makes sense why it was changed. I mean, I totally understand that, and so they want to take you onto a bigger platform. I'm guessing you had the option whether to go on a bigger platform or not, and with free will, you've chosen to as well. Okay, that's cool. So what's different now between the last time I interviewed you and this interview?
Well, the things that are being taught are within the same genre, pillar 1, 2, 3, and 4. Last interview, because they teach 4 separate categories through me. Last time they honed in on pillar 3, which was the ability to self-heal using hand placement techniques and using the power of thought to heal your emotions, your physical body, and your lives. This time I know that they want to talk about unfoldment, the pillar 4, and they want to talk about how they are weaving in certain amount of material to create channeled mediums and channelers. They want more channelers in the world. That's the biggest thing. Now, the other thing is they're creating an enormous amount of written material. Right now, there's 37 books, and I'm slowly but surely getting them published. But they are making a splash with documented, published material as well. So, but today's interview, they would like to focus on pillar 4. That they've got their own way of bringing topics up, but to let you know, they're going to focus on pillar 4 and why they are creating channeled mediums.
And just to remind people, when you channel as well, it's just you still. It's not a funny voice. It's not you're not doing anything unnormal. It's just you. So it's them now. It's you now. It's them now. It's you now.
Yeah, well, they describe it because a lot of people worry about possession and just some weird thing. I've heard so many different things, but they go through. Their teaching is very concrete. It's very methodical. They talk about the mechanics of the subconscious mind, and they talk about how they reteach the subconscious mind to hear them, receive them, and translate for them. And that in the beginning, the mind will produce in the mind's eye because we learn to think before we speak. So we hear the words first in our own head. And then later, progression is channeled, which is out loud.
It's pillar 4. Is that so? It's nothing to do with the law of attraction.
Pillar 2. So pillar 1.
Pillar 2 is law of attraction. Yes, I know that.
Pillar 2 is law of attraction. Pillar 3 is self-healing, which we did last time. Pillar 4, they call it unfoldment, but it's also called the awakening. How to bring about your awakening, and that's what they're about.
Okay. Yeah.
The ultimate goal, bringing in pillar 1, 2, and 3, is to lay the foundation for more people to have spontaneous awakenings.
They want to talk about pillar 4, which is helping people train to become channelers and mediums and clear.
Well, think of it this way.
Clear mediums.
Pillar 1 is conscious beings and why we're having physical life. So when they teach on that, they clear up things that are scary about communicating with the other side. So they're clearing up and doing away with why that might be scary or why it might be wrong. Now, pillar 2, law of attraction. If you put yourself in a happy frame of mind, you will hear your guide faster and better and easier. So that's why those 2. Now, pillar 3 is self-healing, how to remove unconscious beliefs from your entire thought process. When you do those 3, your awakening comes about faster and easier. And that's why they're bringing all 4 subjects. Because the goal is more channeled mediums and more channelers.
Well, if you want to just let them through, and then we'll, go to pillar 4.
All right.
And I'll just say again, as the pillar 4 is part of the essential material that of the 4 pillars of learning that the teachers bring through.
we're here, and we are having a conversation with Carol's mind at the moment. There is some desire for people to understand who we are. So we're going to describe it first. The pillar system is what all non-physical teachers teach through highly qualified channeled people. We don't call it the pillar system through every single person, but if you look at all of the information, it is easy to align the information to one of the 4 pillars. So we describe that for you. We call it the essential material. The essential material has a basis in what you learned prior to coming into human physical life. It is what you learned before you came into human physical life. Pillar 1 is why you have a physical life, what it is that you do there, and how you stay connected with your non-physical teacher. You call that person a guide. But when you are on this side, you will know that being as your teacher. Now, pillar 2 is law of attraction. That's the modern term for it. Thoughts create your reality is what it is. When you get your thoughts thinking of positivity, and when you get your emotions locked onto positivity, and you steer your mind into the future, then you are beginning to create your future life experience. Thoughts create your future reality. Now, pillar 3, directing energy to self-heal and all the ways to do it. We are the ones that do the healing. There are people that have clean chakra system, and so we can push more clean, pure energy through them. We like to call those people channelers. And then unfoldment into channeling. Channeling is pillar 4. When you understand that there is no reason to believe in death and no reason to believe that you are alone in this physical world, then you have understood the basis of pillar 1. Pillar 2 is stay on a happy track. Pillar 3, stay on a happy track long enough, and the unconscious beliefs in you will start to clear themselves. When those 3 things happen, then you will be able to embark upon learning how to communicate with your non-physical team. Whether you understand who your non-physical team is or not, matters not. We teach it. We teach it. And we say we teach it because we have classes. We do this, and Carol loves it, and we love that she loves it. And because she loves it, we can do it. We never force our opinion. We never force any channeled person to create a lifestyle that they're not wanting. So everything that we suggest to Carol is something that she adores. She's a student, she's a teacher, she's a lover of non-physical things, and she's a believer that channeled is the pinnacle ability of your subconscious mind. So we talked for a moment about subconscious mind. It is your memory catcher. The subconscious mind is how you retain memories after you leave physical life and come back over here. We speak from a place that you call the non-physical dimension. It is a different dimension, but we can be physical people if we want to. We're not mist. We're not unable to take form. If we want to be a tree, we're a tree. If we want to be a person, we're a person. If we want to sit in a hammock, we can sit in a hammock. If we want to sit at a table and eat a meal, we can sit at a table and eat a meal, but we don't have to. We create our experience based on what we think about. And that is what we teach all of you. Create your experience based on your thoughts. It is the way you will create because that's who you are in this otherworldly dimension. And that is what we teach through a great many channeled people. And we use intuition to bring that to human straightforward teaching. The positivity movement has a basis in self-healing. When you have positive thoughts, you will heal your chakra system and the other structures within your energy field, and all of those structures are necessary for your human physical life. We teach about all of this in classes, so we're not going to get into all of that here. All right, so here we are. Carol's mind is good. Hello, 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 everybody. We are the teachers. Now, we like to say this, the teachers of Yeshua, with a J, and that is meaningful to us. Although it doesn't have a lot of meaning to you, it is meaningful to us. The teachers of Yeshua. Yeshua is not the one known as Jesus. So we want to make that nice and clear here while we're having this conversation. Yeshua is a body of teachers, and those teachers teach 4 things. And it is the body of teachers that connect with a human's high guide. We say high guide because there's one in charge. We connect with that guide. And then if that person's abilities are remarkable and their mind opens up to being able to translate cleanly, then we identify what part of the material will be able to be taught through that person. We always teach law of attraction because the whole world needs it. You need to understand that being happy creates a better physical life and physical body. Not all people are interested in pillar 1. We wish more people would be. And that's who you are as a non-physical being, who we are right now, and why you and why we used to have human physical lives. Pillar 3 is how to self-heal, how to get rid of unconscious beliefs, and how to remove energy blocks that are preventing you from having a happy day, a happy moment. Remember an important aspect of your life, but also remembering how to connect and communicate and translate for your non-physical guide. Now, we love the conversation. Where would you like to take it? Where would you like to take it today?
God, it can go so many places. Let's just ask that maybe important question of why yourselves want people to understand that channeling is the pinnacle ability for connection with the other world. Why is channeling a pinnacle ability when, we have mediums on this side, and I'd like to feel some of the good mediums are able to connect to loved ones that have crossed over. Is it a form of channeling? Some would say yes. Others that have the ability would say no. It's all just, human words in a sense. But yeah, that's a statement. That's just interesting that you guys have made, and girls.
It is, and people do choose words, and so we choose words and then we stick with them. When we say channeled, we mean the ability to allow your mind to become quiet and to take perfect instruction from that non-physical teacher or guide that is communicating. So we say it like this. People have learned that non-physical teachers are guides, but they've learned that they are all kinds of things. They learn that they are goodness, and they have learned that they are powerful beings, maybe ascended beings who use all kinds of words. We are ascended in the understanding that we don't live lives anymore. We have done that. We have ascended from that. We have accelerated our learning from that, but we still stay interested in human physical life. So instead of becoming physical life entity beings, meaning incarnation after incarnation after incarnation, we have chosen to be guides at some point, most of us, and or teachers. Now, we teach, but it's not just teaching out loud through people. We teach soul beings here. Before you enter into physical life, before you enter into your first physical life, you have a teacher that tells you everything about it. You learn about the world. You learn about how to go in, how to go out, how to stay in the world. You learn about your energy field. It is real. You learn about the chakra system. It too is real. And you learn about what we call the grid. It's the infrastructure that holds your physical experience, all memories. The topic plus the emotion, it's in your energy field. It's not in your body. That energy field is what transitions from this non-physical place to the physical place that you are in. We say reality one and sub-reality. We are in reality one. You are in sub-reality. Channeled is important because, number one, mediums are people who have an ability to be the intermediary, the conduit, or the pass-through. The problem is, it's not the most powerful ability. And there are some good ones. There are some very, very good ones. And they pass messages and information and continuity of life for millions of people. And that is good. But we can't teach through clairvoyant medium. We can't teach through them. We can't write books through them. We can send them intuition. We can help them rephrase something. We can help inspire their thought so that they can collect their notes and word things in a way that makes them feel good and proud and happy. And we do that. People have learned to think before they speak. It is pervasive. It is an absolute. Children are taught to think about what they're going to say, think about what they did wrong, think about what they did right. And people learn to hold their thoughts back. They couch their words, and they are not as open. They don't want to be vulnerable. Because of that, clairvoyant mediums hear voices and see images in the mind's eye. Channeled is a mind that no longer has that limitation. So why are we making channelers? Well, we'll stop where you stop. So if you stop at clairvoyant medium and you love it, we'll stop there. But we don't want you to stop there. It is advancement from. Channeled ability is advancement from clairvoyant. So we just say it this way. When the mind learns that receiving information from the other side does not have to be perfected, protected, and you don't have to reserve judgment or fear on whether or not to say it. When the mind, not the human being, but the subconscious mind, when the subconscious mind recognizes that there is love that comes from the dimension above, then it is no longer scared to simply say the words out loud. When the words are said out loud, we call that person channeled. Channeled medium is someone that can give readings, and we like that, and we want more of them. We want their mind to stay in the channeled position throughout the entire reading. But we also want more channelers. We say channelers are people who allow us to teach. We like to write books because then you have them, and you have them for longevity, and you pass them down, and they collect dust perhaps, but you have them. So teaching is great. We call human beings who have quieted their mind to the point where we can ask the mind. We do not step in. There are no step-in walk-ins. It's not what channeled is. There is no possession. That's not what channeled is. Channeled is a quiet conversation with the mind of a human being. And when that mind learns to love and trust where the information is coming from, it will lay down its arms and it will simply say, I will allow these words to be put in the mind's eye. And then, by and by, the mind will relax even further, and the instructions will simply say these words. And then the human being, the body says the words. The human being's body says the words. And then we call them a channeler. Channeled medium, channeler. They both use the same ability, but one is us teaching, that's channeler. When we teach, we give classes, we give lectures, we give TED Talks, we give video sessions. We are teaching. When we are in teaching mode, the human being is in channeler mode. When the human being is giving one-on-one guidance or instruction, readings and energy work, then we say they are a channeled medium. We like clairvoyant mediums. We do. We want people to understand that they have more. It's not the uppermost ability. There is more. There is more. There is more. And you can have it if you want it. It takes meditation. It takes instruction. And it takes belief that you can do it. But the belief that you can do it also comes with removing the belief that it's something that only some can do, and that it's something that is wrong. And there are still people in the world that say it's possession and it's a trick of the mind. It's no trick of the mind. It's a quieted, beautifully quieted, instruction-based opportunity. And once the channeled session is over, the human being, at their own discretion, can continue conversation in their own right. We have a way of teaching, and we do teach. So we just say this: we have classes that guide you into channeled medium. Along the way, you will have heightened intuition and you will learn to be traditional medium, but we encourage you to keep going, keep going. We also have classes that teach you how to heal the chakra system from the beliefs that are holding you back from manifesting whatever it is that you're wanting. And everybody's wanting to manifest something.
When someone's learning to open up to the mediumistic side, or to channeling, what are most people going to connect with when it comes to the channeling?
They connect with truth. For instance, a human being has an understanding that there is life on the other side. But it's like a two-way mirror. We see you, we hear you, we can communicate to you, but you cannot see us, you cannot hear us, and most do not communicate with us. Human beings that are not mediums, they might pray, or they might mantra, or they might speak out loud and ask for assistance. And that's hoping. We know that people hope that someone on the other side can hear them, loved ones included. What we're talking about is we train the subconscious mind to receive us, to translate information for us, and then we ask the subconscious mind to ask the body to say the words, or to provide the information that we are sending. It's a sending and a receiving, and then a translation, and then producing. And the producing is in the mind's eye, or it's out loud. But it's one and then the other, respectively. It's one and then the other. But it doesn't come about automatically. And it doesn't come about if the human being is wary about where the information is coming from. And it will not come about if the medium is still believing that there are dark entities, negative energies and negative beings, fallen angels and the like, demonic things. There is nothing that attaches. Carol had a reading not that long ago, and the gentleman simply said, I don't understand what my abilities are, but I know that I don't want demonic beings attaching themselves to me. How do I know if it's a angelic being or a demonic being? And so we spent about half a day with that gentleman, just breaking down barriers of pillar one, the foundational material. There are no demonic beings, but there sure is thought in the world.
Okay. But just based on what you said there, then a channeler that's not being authentic or manipulating the individual that they're channeling to, if that's the case, then what you're saying is really that comes from the human individual, that the manipulation is coming through from them. Even though they're bringing through this connection that they've got, any manipulation is on the human side.
Absolutely. When a human being believes that they could fall down, they will be a human being that falls down. Now, when a human being believes that evil is human thought, there is no evil on this side. But if a human being believes that there is dark entity, that there is hate that could come through in a channeled or mediumship session, if a human being believes that there is both opportunities to come through, then they're not highly qualified. but they're on the right track because they're interested in it.
Yes, if a human being believes that, but I'm saying from a channeler's perspective, if the channeler is purposefully manipulating the not just the communication that's coming through, well, yeah, they're manipulating the communication in the sense that they're being told one thing, and actually they're using it to manipulate the individual that they're giving the reading to. But that's the human side. That's what I'm saying. It's the human. You would say it's the human side, not the channel.
We do say this, that there are professionals, and then there are fraudulent readings. And we're not talking about fraudulent readings because we don't want people to seek them out, and we don't want the subconscious mind to seek them out. And so we say readings specifically, but outside of readings, if a human being has belief that they could connect to an angelic higher power or an evil higher power, if the human being, the practitioner, if they believe in both, then their mind will shut down and the message will be contaminated.
I get that. Yeah.
Okay. So a channeler no longer has the belief that there is anything evil on the other side. And truly it's not. It's just a false representation of fear.
Okay, well, I guess what I'm saying is because I've come across channelers, one or two, mainly one, who, definitely manipulated the individuals that he was giving the readings to for his own benefits. And then, sometimes he would give him information that was completely accurate, that was definitely not coming from him, coming from whatever was connected to him. But then when he wanted to, he would, turn on the manipulation, and away we go.
We say it like this. Subconscious mind has three parts to it. Part one has to be in alignment with, it's a cord. Some people know of the hara, which is the higher self. So there is a cord. There's two cords. One that is your own soul energy, and it comes down through the crown. There's another cord, and it comes here towards the throat chakra, but not in it. Now, the first part of your subconscious mind has to be in alignment to receive the information. If it receives the information, then there's an opportunity to translate it. If it is translated, it has an opportunity to be presented to the human being, the challenged person or the medium person, because it's mediumship first. Now, a human being who is receiving, they can slip out of position. We're talking about the subconscious mind. We're not talking about a human being and their desire to receive, because you can be bold and wonderful and focused and believe that what you are and what you want and what you will have is pure connection. But the subconscious mind has its own agenda, and it is in position to receive, but it can also move out of position to receive. Now, when it moves out of position to receive, yes, human thought occurs, and human thought contaminates any message that's coming from the other side.
So these Pillar 4 essential teachings that you're providing right now, highly qualified channeled people was one part of the work. But I guess these people that come to you for this work, they're looking to give sessions, readings, or do this for others, or is it this could be for someone's own internal? Maybe they want a channel just for themselves in their everyday life, right? Could it be?
They do.
Yeah,
they do. And so we say this: we are 5 teachers at the moment having this conversation. There's anywhere between 4 and 7 in any class session. In a reading, it is usually 4. But people step into class for so many different reasons. Some simply are grieving and they want to connect with their loved one, and they want to know that their loved one is okay, and they want to continue the relationship in the new fashion that must be. They don't want to step away into their physical life and what's coming up for them without having that connection and that communication. So there's a great many of people that fall into that category. There are some that are intent on being a channeler. We love that. There are some that simply want to see if they can do it. So we say there's student level, and then there's the serious student level. And there are some from every walk of life. There are young, there are old, there are men, and there are women. And there are people that simply say, I want to know if I can do this. I want to know if I'm accurate. Now, we do say this, we do not create psychic mediums. We will never create psychic mediums. We will not teach your mind to go psychic except for one thing, to manifest your future. When your mind goes psychic, it reaches out into the future or the past and draws information to it. And so you're going into the physical world backwards or forwards, and you're aligning yourself with the memories of people. But every thought that's ever been thought remains here in the world. So you can align yourself to thought from someone that was here, but that's not connecting with this. We call it the cord of communication and healing. And it is a cord. It's like a tube. If you think of it like a string with two cans, and the old-fashioned way of communicating, it is much more efficient than that, but it is a pipeline of healing and a pipeline of conversation. But if a human being strengthens their psychic ability and uses that in a reading, then they are not connecting to the other side. And we have to be very clear, we're not creating psychic mediums. We create clairvoyant mediums and channeled mediums, channeled being progression, advancement. There are some people who take advantage of others, every walk of life and every subject. And so the spiritual community, unfortunately, has some of those as well. We don't like to focus on them. We hope people don't either.
Okay, so what does a life look like that is, going about their life and has that ability to connect? Obviously, you've got free will. What would be the best use of doing that connection? What's, if it's just for your own, well, there's got to be more than curiosity, hasn't there? But I mean, what would you
well, we would say it to you. We would say it to you. So let's say that you wake up one day and you realize that you have this fascination with communicating. Now, there is meditation and receiving inspired thought. And there are millions of people who are learning to meditate, and they are receiving inspired thought. Inspired thought is not guidance. So having an ability where you're receiving inspired thought is good. You feel happier. You feel motivated. You feel like you're on the right track. You have a better outlook. You believe that what you are doing is good for you and perhaps good for others. Inspiration is always good. But guidance is altogether something different. When guidance comes through from this place that we are speaking from, when guidance comes through, there's directions in it. We see past and we see future. We see what you have and what you are manifesting and why. And we see where you will be if you stay on the current path. So we guide you to get more of it, or we guide you around it, or altogether try to dissuade you from continuing on the path that you're on. Human beings that go psychic, they don't see the future. They can't. They're collecting information, thoughts that are in the world, thoughts that are strongly in the resident memory of people. Clairvoyant mediums receive conversation from the other side, but that conversation is placed in the mind's eye. So we're talking about placement here between clairvoyant medium and channeled medium. The placement of a clairvoyant medium is in the mind's eye. Placement for a channeled medium is, let's just say it's in the larynx. It's asking the body to say the words out loud instead of saying in the mind's eye and then repeated by choice. So free will is certainly involved. And so we don't want to have anyone misunderstand here. Channeled is by way of training. training the mind to allow conversation to speak out loud. We call it the art of allowing. The art of allowing instruction to be spoken out loud. Anyone that has anger channeled, we say, is not in that moment in position and not receiving from the cord. It's human thought. Anyone that has strong bias and is full of criticism, judgment, sarcasm, their inner mind is not in alignment with the cord, and they're not receiving from or through the dimensions, and they are in that moment providing human thought. We validate in class sessions and in private sessions. We validate. Human beings can't validate whether information is truly coming from beyond or whether it's coming from thought bubbles that are in the air. We do, and we teach you how to do it. We love classes, but how do you use this for your own self? Well, let's say you just wake up one day and you're thinking about doing something for the weekend. We help guide you to what will bring most joy into the subconscious mind. We can guide you to what you need to do and get it done so that when you go off on your outing, you don't later in the day acquire guilt or worry or confusion. So we guide you in very simple ways. We are able to mastermind things for you, but we can also just help you make decisions. Far be it from us to tell people how to use their ability, but we would say, use that non-physical teacher, that guide, for anything and everything, because we see the why and the why not. Now, if somebody wants to do readings, and we love that they do, and we want more of them, we want them to understand this. Money is a pressure. Out loud is a pressure. Video is a pressure. Lights, camera, action is pressure. Certain words, certain scenarios add pressure. Having multiple people in the room, that adds pressure. Whether that session is being recorded or someone's taking notes, that adds pressure. Every ounce of pressure that you add to a reading shows up on the subconscious mind of the practitioner. So a highly qualified medium of either variety has to be quiet in the mind, subject by subject by subject, and scenario by scenario by scenario. And then eventually they're highly qualified, and we emphasize the word highly on that. Now, a channeled person is the same thing. They have to have the ability to allow conversation to flow and not halt the communication and then supplement with human thought. It's not good for the channeled person to go in and out and in and out and in and out in a reading or in a lecture or in any kind of a workshop type of situation. It's training. We say, we have guidance on any subject that you could think of. We have guidance on it. Any idea that you have, we have guidance on it. Our guidance is without error because we don't have human emotion. Human emotion is what causes people to have doubt and then guide people to the left instead of straight forward. We don't have doubt in you nor us. So when we provide guidance, it is.
I'm just trying to think, if I was to learn to channel, or if I was to have that more in my life, not to learn, but to just have that ability more in my life, you've really got to want to do it. It takes a certain individual to want to do it, I think. It's not for everyone. Oh gosh, there's different souls at different levels, right? So it's definitely not, we're all here for different reasons, aren't we? We're not all gonna.
Well, you are. So let's talk about life intentions for a moment. We'll help you out. There are people that build into their life experience to be a medium of either type. There are people who build in to not be a medium, but to build in being a channeler, to allow books and conversation, books and teaching and conversation to come forward. For those people, the awakening will be smoother, but it doesn't mean that it'll be without bumps in the road, because there certainly will be. Now, someone that builds in to do something else with their life, and you do have life intentions. And so you have life intentions to meet people, certain people. You have life intentions to step away from a certain lifestyle and focus on softer, gentler mindset. Some intentions are, there are so many, we just give you a few. Some intentions are to knowingly step aside from anger, for example, and to knowingly choose the better thought. There are those that say in their lifetime they will live their life short but healthy. There are those that say, I will be here until my soul partner is no longer here. My soul partner, not spouse, but soul partner. When that soul partner leaves the world, I will be free to finish up my actions and then move on to the non-physical place as well. There are those that build in to absolutely marry a certain person or to acquire a certain number of experiences. That life intentions get commingled with law of attraction and human desire. Human desire is wonderful when it comes with happy, when it comes with joy, when it comes with exhilaration. But human desire also comes with aggravation, confusion, doubt, worry, anger. Channeled people are gentler. So someone that does not build in to be a medium or to allow us to speak out loud in the fashion that we are now, we say rhythm of the body meditation for emotional balance. And then heightened intuition and inspired thoughts will guide you. But for those that are interested in two-way dialogue or being the conduit or the intermediary for two-way dialogue for others, we'll help you get there. We know how to train the subconscious mind. People don't. And that's really what we're talking about here today. Human beings teach each other that practice makes perfect. Practice, 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 practice. Practice makes perfect. And unfortunately, you can over-practice and the subconscious mind will go psychic instead of clairvoyant. And if it goes psychic, it will not reach channeled. If it goes clairvoyant, it could. So we want to create more clairvoyant mediums and then encourage them to continue with their training to bring about channeled mediumship. If channeled mediumship is realized, then we know that we can teach one of the 4 pillars through them. And then we usually choose law of attraction, depending on what their higher being is wanting. But we always choose law of attraction at least.
Yeah, when I go through life, I just more recently, I'm not, how can I put this? I understand. It's my understanding that life continues. This is a human experience, but there's just no interest really to go any much more deeper than that. I actually do want a physical life, and we're all here for different reasons, aren't we? We're all here for different reasons. I think, maybe I've got to a point in my life where time for change for me, right? which will look very different to what someone else's wants maybe. So it's very difficult to compare, isn't it? I understand why people would want to experience what you're offering, but I think as well that there is something in having the human experience, and it's okay if you're not drawn to so-called, tune in yourself. I mean, you've always got the higher self there. That part's always there to tune into if you want to listen to it.
Let's state this a little differently. Human experience is what people have. We had our series of lives and had human experience. And so a medium or a channeler or a channeled medium, they are having a human physical experience. and their physical life and their physical memories are of their physical life. So everyone, no matter who they are having physical lives, and they're having human physical experiences. Now, human physical experiences are what you accumulate. And when your life is over, you investigate them. Now, someone that is wanting to embark upon mediumship as a career or a pastime, it matters not. It is healthy for people to do so. This chord that we talk about, the chord, and we go into great depth in classes. When conversation is coming through the chord, there's also a tone of healing. And when that tone of healing is understood by the mind, then your chakra system responds. And then emotional balance ensues. When you have emotional balance, you're not as stressed. When you aren't as stressed, then your physical body doesn't get as sick as often. So we say meditation for everyone, but we don't just say meditation. We say rhythm of the body, silent meditation. If your mantra continues throughout your entire meditation session, if you're being guided verbally through the entire meditation session, or songs, or music, or activities of any kind, then the mind is not receiving emotional balance, but you are accumulating human life experience that's pleasing, hopefully. Someone who begins to meditate, their mind becomes quiet and their life becomes joyful. Emotional balance is what shows up first. Heightened intuition is second. Inspired thoughts while you are up and moving, third. And along the way, you might find that mediumship is interesting to you. Now, as we said, there's a great many people who are simply wanting to connect with their family members. They're wanting to not necessarily become someone who gives readings, but they want to be able to sit and have a conversation with their loved one. So we would say a non-practitioner medium, but it's still a medium. And some people don't believe that they want to be a medium until they are grieving. And then suddenly they wish they had that ability. Now, we do say this to anyone that's listening that is grieving. There is a pathway while you are grieving to connect strongly with your loved one and with your guide on the other side. There is a reason for it. It's a chakra condition. And when that chakra condition is healed, your awakening bounces onto the surface. So although it seems like more challenging when you're in that state of grieving, it's an opportunity that we don't want people to pass up. Channeled is a form. It's a method of mediumship. And it's a method where the mind is quietest. If the mind is quietest, we can say the most. But the human being has to stay in channeled position. Their mind has to favor the channeled experience. And so not all will shy away from it. We teach in a way that brings it out with experiences and with experiences validated. So human experience is good. We want all people to have human experience. You wouldn't be here for any other reason. But every once in a while, the thought crosses someone's mind. Can I? And can I is added to any subject. Can I run a mile? Can I run 3 miles? Can I hop, skip, and jump? Can I get a promotion? Can I move and make new friends as an adult? Can I connect with my guide in a verbal way? It's another can I. And we say don't limit yourself with anything in life, especially that one, because that one is very helpful in many ways.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't feel the pull to have that direct connection. I think to me it's kind of the same in some respects as that voice within, that gut feeling voice, not in the gut sometimes, but
Well,
just that inner voice.
But therein lies the problem. So law of attraction is the gut feeling voice. Law of attraction is simply this: human life is what everyone has. Life is what life is. And you lean into life experience based on what you have accumulated, but you accumulate life experience, meaning scenario-based experiences, but riddled within and coupled within those experiences is a plethora of emotions. Law of attraction is magnetic pull, magnetic draw to experiential life, but also emotional life. We say it's like a boomerang. The boomerang has a subject plus emotion. It goes out. When it comes back, you get the emotion, always, and any other subject that got attached to it by way of magnetic attraction. So gut feeling, that's not connection with the other side, and it's not guidance. Gut feeling is law of attraction. And maybe law of attraction is favoring you in some portion of your life, and we hope that it is.
Well, maybe I meant more the internal. I don't know. Gut feeling is not the right way to explain it. Then probably. Oh God. You just know when something feels right, don't you? And you know when it feels wrong, even though you probably go against it most times. Yeah, that deeper knowing. That deeper knowing. But I think there is some, from meditation, there is some wonderful spaces to connect to, especially, if you want to call it the higher self or that greater part of yourself. That's a great place to
connect to your non-physical teacher. You connect verbally to your non-physical teacher, and that non-physical teacher connects to your higher being, and they communicate. But the conversation is coming from what people call their guide. Your guide, you will know after your passing, as your teacher. That's why we call ourselves the teachers, because we are formed from those of us that have been guides, are guides, or have accelerated past being guides and are now teachers proper. When a human being says, I just have a knowing, I feel like this has to be the right thing, I feel so good about it, we say law of attraction is strongly at play every second of every day of everybody's life. So is your gut feeling intuition? Maybe, but maybe not. It could be law of attraction that's giving you a positive emotion on a subject, and that could be good for you. But everything that's positive in nature is good for you to go do. It's good for you to do it with robust enthusiasm, but it might not keep you on your life path intentions. So guidance keeps you on the...
What about value fulfillment?
Value fulfillment. We say value fulfillment is strengthening your determination for happy. Value fulfillment on any subject, anywhere, anytime, with any person.
What gives you, so what gives that person value fulfillment? That's what I'm sorry to butt in there, but where's my value fulfillment? Where's that thing that, that gives you value fulfillment that you would like in the moment? Not that you can have it straight away, but I mean, you can head towards it.
Well, there's value fulfillment from a human being's perspective. And that is, am I satisfied? Did I enjoy the experience? Am I satisfied, or satisfied to the degree that I would do it again? But there's also value fulfillment from the perspective of your higher being. They value every single life that they are having, and they are having the life. But the fulfillment part is, did you complete the life intentions that you had set for yourself? There's value in every life, and there's learning in every life, and there's a reason for every life. But did you fulfill? So value, checked. Fulfillment, not checked in most. You are one human being. Carol is one human being, and there are billions of other human beings. Each human being enters physical human life experience on a quest to complete life intentions, knowing that you would not remember what they are. We love doing readings on life intentions. It's probably one of the best questions that you can ask in a reading. What are my life intentions that I have coming up? How can I do more of it? Is it conducive to my physical life experience that I'm having now? Will I enjoy it? What will happen if I acquire it? What will happen if I don't acquire it? So value fulfillment, if you are happy, go forth and do, because happy keeps your chakra system clean. Happy keeps you less stressed. Less stressed equals less physical illness, but it also equals less arguing and less crying and less grieving. So human experience of value fulfillment is an absolute, but that is law of attraction. You get what you think about. If you think about happy, you will have more experiences that are pleasing. If you think about unhappy, you will have more experiences that have some of both. We want more lives to be happy purely.
Yeah, but maybe there's something you've got to go through first. Maybe, there's something in your life path you've got to go through, and until you get through it, well, you can't not get through it. You can't not get. You may not want to go through it. You cannot not get through it to have for the life that you're on. You're on the set path. You've got to go through this thing. You've made a choice for this thing to have come into your presence, maybe, and you've got to see it through. And it may not be the happiest time.
Well, then we say you don't have to see it through. So here's the crux of it. Human beings have an opportunity to live their life in whatever way they think is best. And we want you to really understand what the word best is all about. The word best means supremely satisfied. So if you're trudging through something, hoping to get through it so that you can be done with it, get it over with, then you are not supremely satisfied. So we would say it's not in the category of best. Therefore, that life experience, that lane that you are driving in, that scenario that you are waist deep in, is not the right one. Now, in readings, we guide you through it, but we can also guide you away from it or around it. But we also help you through it in how to get through it with the happiest mindset that you can. But remember now, life is meant to be lived in the positive. And if you're facing something that you do not want to do, and you believe that you have to do it, well, that's the perfect time for a reading, because maybe there is something in it for you, but maybe now's not the right time. Maybe you need to step back and change your mindset and then approach it again, and then it doesn't seem so daunting. Anyone who's going through a challenge, difficulty, or thinking about doing something, and that something presents itself as difficult or challenging, it's a good time for a reading. But those readings need to be with someone who's very qualified. When you give life path readings, you must be very qualified. We would be remiss if we did not guide people. How do you choose someone who's highly qualified? We say use your pendulum. Use it often and ask simple questions. Is this reader, is this advisor, is this practitioner highly qualified? Yes or no? And then, is this person highly qualified on the subject that I need a reading for? 2 questions back to back, 1 minute in between, leave a minute in between. It soothes the energies. And then if you get a yes on both, then make an appointment and take solid notes. If you get a no for either one, then continue your search. Guidance is what we're here for. So we say this physical life experience, you are here with your guide. That non-physical teacher doesn't just step in when you have a question. They are side by side, although you know it not. So when you're having a problem or you have a question, you're undecided about what color socks to wear, we can help you with anything and everything. Now, some things seem too trivial, but when you use the trivial to gain verbal conversation, then the mind learns to trust in every aspect. And then you get conversation that is helpful in the moment. You're getting ready to purchase something, but it's the wrong size. And you won't notice that it's the wrong size until moments before you go to put it on for an outing. We can guide you in the moment. highly qualified people, clairvoyant and channeled people, they get guidance. No, dear, not that one. Not here, not today. Go around the block one more time. Parking spot will be open. There you go. Don't worry about the rain. It's going to stop in about 10 minutes. Just keep driving. We give channeled people, clairvoyant people, they have conversations that have nothing to do with earning money in readings. It is moment by moment, sometimes guidance. We want everybody to experience what that is like.
Well, that's fascinating and very interesting what you've got to say. I will say that. Lots to think about, most definitely. And yeah, just thank you very, very much for what you've had to say so far.
You're welcome. We'll turn it back over now. All right. Yeshua's here. Yeshua is a body of teachers, and you know, when they teach, it's just a combination of pillar 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I guess I'm just in awe of what they do and how they do it. I do like that they're creating more channelers, and I like watching students as they progress. That is a lot of fun. So just for anybody that's wanting that, their classes are amazing. And classes are channeled. So you get them. So I would say, you know, you never know what you built into your physical life until somebody gives you a solid reading. And then it just feels like the right thing to do. If it feels like the right thing to do, then investigate it. Because maybe that's all you're supposed to do is just investigate the topic, and then something else comes through. But sometimes people step in and they say, I just feel like this is supposed to be me. Well, whether it's built in from an intention perspective or not, if it sounds fascinating, do it. If it sounds interesting, do it. If it comes with the word happy, I feel good about this, I want to try it, then do it. And then stay with it and stay focused on it for as long as it is still generating happy, no matter what that topic is.
I guess for some people as well, they may feel, well, you know, I understand what Carol's saying, but it's almost as though, okay, I didn't see it through again. Do you know that thing with some people where they start something and they do not see it through?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, how many times are we going to do this? And people accuse them all the time of like, you know, you didn't see it through, you started it, and off you go again.
Well, I'll tell you, and this is me. The Teachers of Jeshua are here. I know they're here, but this is me speaking now. So all of that conversation was through, I like to say through me. So I had awareness of what was being spoken as you heard it. And it's fun and interesting how they describe things each and every time. But, you know, I've had my own instruction from them. I get instruction every day, a new subject, a new topic. They say, hey, today's pillar 1 day. And I'm like, oh, this is fun. Do I need a notebook? And they said, nope, we're going to do it on the move. And so we'll be out and we'll talk about things as I'm, you know, out doing a nature walk or something like that, because there's something that they want to bring in that has to do with whatever I'm going to experience on that walk. So my life is unique because here I am, you know, I'm looking forward to everything that's coming up. And I've lived an entire adult life that did not include this, that did not include the desire for this. So I understand what you're saying is I just don't feel like that's really who I am right now. It's not anything that I'm interested in. And I would say that was the same thing up until about 4 years ago. And then my whole life changed. And I'd say it's changed for the better because I know what life is like now. But, you know, when people step into the classroom and they're learning from the teachers and they're having instruction and they're being guided and they are being validated and they're sitting and receiving the verbal instruction, you know, there are people that say, well, I'm just not getting anything. I'm in my practice sessions, I'm not getting anything. And sometimes that is just pure resistance, energy block. They call it a glass ceiling sometimes, and that's an attunement. So attunements can create a pathway to hear what it is that the rest of the subconscious mind has been receiving. So they always describe it in three ways. You have the receiver, the translator, and the producer. And if any one of those three is not doing its job, then what you get on the outside can be nothing, or it can be wrong, or it could just be human thought. So, when I step into live virtual classes is how I do everything. When I step into a class session, I say hi to everybody, and then I immediately turn it over to however many of the teachers are coming through. They generally say there's somewhere between 3, 4, or 5 in any class session. So they teach unfoldment every Monday night, self-healing every Tuesday night. Once a month, there's a Q&A session for 2 hours. But every class comes with an hour of time for questions and answers and validation and things like that. So if you're interested, let me know. Membership is great. So this is something that's new. I did not create it, but this is where personal guidance come in, and as well as business guidance. And so what they guided me to do is create membership. And so I did, and I created one, and then they said, okay, now let's change it a little bit. And so now I have 2. So I do a 2-hour Q&A. It's basically live virtual conversations with the teachers, and it's all question and answer based. It's like a live group reading. So I do that every month. Gold membership comes with that and several other things. And then platinum membership comes with unlimited conversations, that monthly workshop, as well as unlimited class sessions. And they both come with unlimited access to the archive, a private community group, and spontaneous conversations from them. They did last week just finish an 8-chapter live virtual audience witnessed book called Your Natural State Reclaimed, and that was the first one for me that had been written in a dictation session where there was a number of people there listening and watching. It was fun. I'll definitely do that again. So things like that come with membership. So I'd guide anybody that is really considering to check out the website and check out membership. Absolutely. Readings if you like to. But,
that website is?
Americas-medium.com. Americasmedium.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's been coming up on the screen throughout this interview, and your books that are currently out right now as well. Is there any sort of final message you might like to give, if there was one?
Oh, I would just say thank you again. It's always a pleasure to be here and have a conversation with you and with everybody that views and watches it. Life is busy, and life is full, and life can get overwhelming. So I just say, take life as it comes. And if it's happy, keep doing it. And if it's not happy, then sit for 2 minutes and just close your eyes and just listen to the sound of your breathing, and then begin again. It's just when things get overwhelming, when things get challenging in the moment, just stop and take 2 minutes and let that non-physical teacher just alter the energies within and soothe something so that you can get up and do something a little bit easier, faster, or with a better outlook. It's powerful what they can do when you give them time.
Okay. Well, Carol, I just want to thank you so much for coming on today. And yes, I wish you all the best with what you're doing.
Thank you. You too. It's a lot of fun. I'm very pleased with everything that they're doing, including the books. There's about 37 of them right now, although one by one they're coming out and getting published. But they're certainly authors, and I'm loving that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.